الافريقيه بيعزز من ده، وبالتالي بيساهم في تعزيز التجاره البينيه ما بين الدول الافريقيه، وكمان تجاره الخدمات زي قطاعات السياحه، واطلاع كمان الساده وزراء التنميه والوفود المشاركه على مشروعات قوميه زي العاصمه الاداريه الجديده، مشروع تطوير القاهره التاريخيه، مشروع في غايه الاهميه كمان حضرتك منطقه عين السيره وغيرها من ازاله العشوائيات وتحويلها الى مناطق حضريه مؤهله. دي تجربه في غايه الاهميه، الساده الوزراء الافارقه هيطلعوا عليها النهارده من خلال زياراتهم. كذلك الامر الجلسه الحواريه الهامه والتفاعليه الهامه لنقل التجربه الرياديه وضره المشروعات القوميه حياه كريمه الى طبعا ربوع الدول الافريقيه. ده اسمه تحول حقيقي في التنميه الريفيه على مستوى ربوع الدول الافريقيه ان شاء الله.
كمان اقامه مؤتمر قمه المدن الافريقيه ده هيبقى في شرم.
المؤتمر اللي هيقام ان شاء الله فيما يتعلق بالجزء ده كان 2025، انما كمان المؤتمر اللي في غايه الاهميه الكوب 27 ان شاء الله في نوفمبر القادم في شرم الشيخ.
مكان سياحي، مدينه سياحيه.
يعني خليني اقول لحضرتك شرم الشيخ تتزين وتستعد كأول مدينة خضراء بكل عناصر المدينة الخضراء اللي بتحافظ على، يعني هتبقى فعلا في مقدمة المدن المستدامة على مستوى المحافظات المصرية إن شاء الله.
مساعد وزير التعاون الدولي بجنوب أفريقيا ورئيس الوفد مستر أوبيلا معنا. Nice to meet you. Welcome.
Thank you very much and to the viewers.
It's a pleasure to have you, and of course we'd like to know your impression about this conference and held in Egypt, and how far the efforts which have been exerted have good fruits.
They are now beginning to developing very good, useful points that are now going to ensure that the three phases of government will work, particularly local government, which I'm representing here, and also the public service administration, which is one other instrument, and the third is the human settlement and urban development. So because Africa is going to be having an urbanized population by 2050, we need to prepare our cities to absorb as many people and ensure therefore that those who want to live in an urban space, they can come in. But also local government powers and the functions must be devolved, and we need to achieve the decentralization. But when the cities are run, it's the local people that participate in the running of the cities.
Mr. Abed Papella, when we're talking about Egypt and how far could we use a lot of potential in all Africa to investing all what we have in Africa, human resources, treasures, and a lot. Africa is very rich, but we don't invested this potential up till now. So how far by cooperation among all countries could we strengthen this power?
Definitely, we need to strengthen tourism, visit each other. Africa has a rich history, as you said, historically, culturally, but also the civilization started here in Egypt, and we need them to also begin to appreciate that. But it spread across the continent, and then by visiting each other, people to people, government to government, we think it will go a long way in really ensuring that tourism is an economic benefit for all our people. And there's so much to see in Egypt, there's so much to see in Africa, and then I think tourism should be. But obviously we need to resolve issues of infrastructure, how to go to South Africa, connect to each other. It shouldn't take you 3 days of travel. It must just be straight. When you leave Egypt, you are in South Africa the following day. But as you know, that the air transport is not as highly connected. Our freeways are not connected. The infrastructure on the train also is not there. So we just have to finish what AU started, the infrastructure of Africa, so that it's easy even for the ordinary people, people in the villages, people in the cities to can visit each other across. And language also is another matter that becomes difficult. And we hope, therefore, that the common language of Africa can also be developed, as was resolved that Swahili maybe could be, so that even when you are Arab, you speak Swahili,
Hausa.
English and Swahili, we can then converge around language and understand each other.
As you mentioned tourism, and we are a tourism program, so do you have opportunity to visit touristic places in Egypt or not during the conference? I know it's very important conference, but maybe at the immersion you have opportunity.
It's my third time that I come to Egypt, but I've never seen the pyramids.
No.
I am visiting the pyramids on Friday morning, so I will be going there for the first time since. But tomorrow I'll be visiting the new city of Cairo, where they are building the new administrative capital. So we'll be meeting with the government to tell us how they started, how is the city growing, what they've built on the site. So I'm so very happy and fascinated because we are also building new cities in South Africa. So we'll want to copy and learn from Egypt. What is it? Because when tourists comes, they also want to see modernity, the old, the culture, the history. So I think I'll be very happy that finally I can see the pyramids and I can see the new city.
What are the most famous type or important type of tourism in your country, South Africa?
Well, we have a lot. It's cultural history where some of those people like Shaka, King Shaka, you can go and visit the sites and other kings that used to live in the past. You have the mountain caves where the first of some of the people who lived in South Africa, some years, they do what we call rock art. You can come and see the rock art from the Khoisan people. You can then visit our cities, our beaches, on the ocean areas, our beautiful cities like Cape Town, Johannesburg, Durban. So there's a lot to see, definitely.
Your Excellency, it gives us pleasure to have you in our program and hopefully back to Egypt for the sake of tourism and have a lot of time to visit different touristic sites.
No, definitely. I mean, I'm starting with the pyramids. That one I want to see.
A lot of photos and
a lot of photos there. And then I'll send to my friends and colleagues and say, finally, I've been to Egypt only now that I'm seeing the pyramids because they are so historical. And that's where geography and then also geology had started. And then in the maths, and then I think that's where civilization also started because the measurements of putting up the pyramids is mathematics. So learners, South Africans, here it is, it's happening, and then we'll be encouraging a lot of you to visit all African countries.
Mutual visit. Thank you for this interview.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. To know how far this conference is important to be held here in Egypt and how far we could use it for Africa as a whole.
Yes, this specialized technical committee provides a lesson learning platform for the 55 member states of the African Union to share experiences on local development, on urbanization, on promotion of the role of women, youth in the society, to balance between rural and urban centers. It focuses on state building. And with this, we can achieve the goals set by the United Nations in the SDGs and the goals set by African leaders in the 7 aspirations of Agenda 2063.
Your speech is very important and highlighted a very critical issue. So how far could we make a good use for all African countries, especially we have a lot of potential we can make investing for Africa?
Yes, we have to invest in human capital. We have to invest in youth and women. We have to invest in state institutions, like the Prime Minister said. And once we share experiences more at a national level, at local level, I believe that effective development will be our end result.
وفود أفريقية متعددة كانت مشاركة في هذا المؤتمر بالتأكيد لها أهمية. معنا من وفد كينيا هنتعرف عليها. Nice to meet you. Would you please introduce yourself?
I'm Gladys Asuga from Kenya.
You are one of the delegation of Kenya.
Yes, I am one of the delegates from Kenya.
So if I ask you about your role in particular in this conference.
I am here as an expert in the Committee on Public Service and Administration. So basically that's why I'm here.
First time in Egypt?
Yes, it's my first time.
Never been in Egypt before.
No, I've never been to Egypt before. This is my first time.
Do you think you have time for tourism or not? Time is tight.
Probably I will, although when I arrived, I had a chance to go to the pyramids, so I had fun there.
I know that the conference is for 3 days, and this is the last one.
Yes, this is the last day.
So I'd like to talk to me about what has happened during the 2 days, previous 2 days.
Oh, the last 2 days we've gone through the agenda of what was planned for the fourth session. We have had a look at the reports for the last bureau. We had some elections. We also had committee breakouts, so we did discussions in the subcommittee where I am in public service, and we looked at the work plan and the activities that the Secretariat is going to implement. We also looked at how we can improve cooperation in terms of public service and how we can improve service delivery through innovative approaches.
مؤتمر يجمع وزراء التنمية المحلية على مستوى قارة أفريقيا، والعديد من الوفود الأفريقية بالتأكيد يقام على أرض مصر، ليه أهمية سياحية كبيرة، وده اللي شفناه النهاردة في دنيا السياحة. إلى اللقاء وحلقة جديدة.